Yeah, folks, y'all see this stove here? This stove represents a championship demeanor. And what are we saying today? What we're saying is this: real champions smoke stoves and don't worry about Nathan.
Yo, welcome to Set the Record Straight, our first episode of Set the Record Straight, where we set the record straight on everything pertaining to the Eagles. And today's title is Champions Do Not Worry.
Yeah, man. So what are we doing out here, Philly? You know, it's a lot of chitter-chatter, and all that stuff, turning bodies into antimatter, and individuals who are worrying about all of these players that are seemingly leaving the Philadelphia Eagles in free agency, folks. And what we want to do today is we want to set the record straight in regard to real champions not worrying about a thing, because champions have the DNA to continue to do what champions do, and that is win.
See, right, what the Eagles are doing is they're trying to get younger, right? This is essentially why they traded CJ
Talk about
especially for the O-lineman, too, because I like him. He's going to be a nice depth piece for the Eagles to play behind. Hopefully Mekhi Becton, if we re-sign him. But the key to winning for a long periods of time is through the draft and you getting young players, through free agency.
Very easy and very simple. So if you take a look at the Eagles overall, you can't help but to be okay with the moves that they're making, folks. You can't. And I'm going to give you one reason why you can't. Because the Philadelphia Eagles have won 2 championships in almost 10 years. They've been to 3. That's hard. I mean, essentially, that's challenging. So, folks, the team has already showed us that they have a track record or a formula of winning. Players have come and players have gone, but the formula is still the same.
And another thing you have to point out is the defensive coordinator, right? Your defense was dead last in the league 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you bring in a new defensive coordinator, and all of a sudden your defense is number 1 in the league. So me personally, I have nothing but trust for Vic Fangio. And to me, the C.J. Gardner-Johnson move was a Vic Fangio move. I mean, Vic Fangio's trying to get a younger defense. He's trying to get young players in here so we can keep on winning for long periods of time.
Absolutely, and that's a good point, son. My Sam hit on a few key points that I think is really important for us Philadelphia fans and cooling our jets when it comes to the players that we see that are actually leaving. So if you look at the players that left, we're looking at roughly 5 players. We're looking at Darius Slay, we're looking at CJ, we're looking at Josh Sweat, we're looking at Milton Williams. We're looking at guys like this who were here, they contributed. And, listen, folks, all of us understand the contribution that they made to this team. But those same players were also on the team the year after, folks. The year that Sam Jr. mentioned that we struggled and we're the worst defense in the NFL. Those same players that everyone's crying about leaving were on that team. So essentially what Sammy is saying is that you have the formula and you have the pieces. And one of the pieces is making sure that you maintain really good coaches offensively and defensively. In this case, Sammy said defensively, because again, it's good coaching along with the talent that keeps the championship formula going. Come on, Sam.
We have to stop holding on to these old players.
Oh, come on. Say it again.
We gotta stop holding on to these old players.
Say it again.
I feel like personally, like guys like Fletcher Cox.
Come on.
Who else? These guys, like, they were hindering your ability to win the Super Bowl in 2022.
Talk about it.
When you hold on to old players, you're taking away the time for young players to develop.
Come on.
Everybody called Nolan Smith a bust in 2023.
Come on.
Because he was getting limited roles. I mean, I love BG, and I'm not saying we should get rid of BG, but I was just like, you can't really judge him because he's in a limited role.
Oh, you're getting into something now.
In that limited role, he was getting pressure on the quarterback.
Come on.
So, I mean, that's you want your old guys to move out the way, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? To make way for young players and to get their shine. So, again, you get better product, right? I mean, old guys, they're less hungry, less willing. At that point, you're playing for a paycheck. So I mean, you bring in again like the Eagles did, 2 rookie cornerbacks who are trying to prove themselves.
Come on,
right? Versus Darius Slay and James Bradbury.
Come on,
2 guys who have gotten 2 or more contracts in the league.
Talk about it. And Sammy made some good points, folks. And I'm a Philadelphian, true and true, folks. You know, again, I told you all way back on our initial video to get you all to come on that, you know, I've been at this for a long time, folks. You know, I've been at this since the 80s. I'm telling you all right now, there are a lot of content creators that just jumped on the scene, and I like a lot of them. I actually watch quite a few of them. You know, I got a lot of guys out there that I support. But here's the thing, folks. I've been around. I've seen the Eagles for decades. I've seen the team change over since the 80s, folks. And what I'm here to tell you is this: it's going to get better. You just got to keep watching and keep locking in. And I'm telling you all now that we are in the best position in place as a team and organization than we've ever been, folks. I mean, you know, Sammy, how old are you, Sammy?
15,
folks. When I was Sammy's age, we were struggling. I mean, listen, we had some flashes, but we were struggling. And for me, at his age, that was the Randall Cunningham age for me. You know, it was 1990. So, you know, we were Eagles fans through and through. Me and my dad, Samuel J. Sr., you know, we loved the Eagles and Randall so much that we used to have his picture on our wall like he was a member of the family. So we've been around, folks. We've been doing this, and I'm telling you right now that the organization now, folks, oh my goodness, is 30 times better than the organization then. And what I'm trying to explain is this: is that the team has developed a formula for winning. And folks, we just gotta simply trust the process. What you got to say to that, Sam?
I mean, yeah, stay true. This team has proven, right? This team has proven that they know what they're doing, right? And we just got a Super Bowl, so I mean, there's really no need to cry over the players that were letting go. Personally, I personally think Vic Fangio made a lot of those guys look better than they really were.
Say it again.
I mean, in my personal opinion, I mean, I could be wrong, but Josh Sweat, I don't think Josh Sweat is worth 4 years, $76 million.
Oh boy.
I mean, I just don't. I mean,
oh boy.
Vic Fangio's defense was stout last year, man, and he was the same guy on the 2023 defense.
Come on.
So I mean, like, and he just got a contract. You know what I'm saying? And that should, to me, be a testament of how good of a defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And one of the things that Fangio is looking for, young, hungry players, folks. There's nothing against the guys that are on their way out, folks. Those guys did great. They deserve the payday that they're going to get. But here's the thing, Philadelphia. I know how we are, folks. We are a town that likes to hold on to things. We are a town that likes our players. We are a town that falls in love with our players. But here's the thing, folks. Players come and go. But the main thing stays the same, and that's the organization, folks. That's the city. That is the actual team. But folks, don't be deceived. Players make teams. If you don't have players, you don't have teams. But at the same time, in order to keep winning, in order to stay on top, because one of the things that's going to happen to the team this coming season is that they're going to be the hunted, folks. The whole league's coming after them. And here's what they got to maintain. They got to maintain the hunger. This is why you see certain guys going out roughly around their late 20s, folks. They're going out because, again, one, money. Of course, you can't pay everybody. But they're going out because we got young, hungry guns.
They want to play, man. They want to play.
They want to what, Sammy?
They want to play.
They want to what, Sammy?
They want to play.
And what you need guys who are in a rotation, who are hungry, folks, who want to get in and make this thing happen, folks. Why? Because all the teams are going to be gunning for us. And what we can't afford to do is ever settle in and get comfortable. And folks, listen here. That applies to life. You can never get comfortable in life, because as soon as you get comfortable in life, you're going to find yourself lagging. In the words of the young folk today, don't get caught lagging. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get caught lagging. You want to get caught pushing and pursuing greatness. Come on, Sammy, what you got?
Hey, man, all I want the Eagles to do is just, hey, man, keep at it. We got a bowl, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, right, keep pushing, keep making moves. And that's one thing I do like about the Eagles. They're always active, right? Howard Roseman said in a press conference that he would be petrified, right? Petrified if a player was on the market that he didn't know about, and they were on another team.
Come on, talk about it.
And that's a GM that I want to have.
Talk about it.
Right? Who's always, you know what I'm saying, in the mix.
Talk about it.
Right? Always looking for the next, you know what I'm saying, trade. Next player to hit the trade block.
Yeah.
Next guy in the draft looking at, you know what I'm saying? So like, I like Howie. He's an aggressive dude, like trade wise, and I also like the way he handles his contracts.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Hudson, if you're watching, you know, Hudson joked and said, "Hey, bro, the Eagles got unlimited cap space right now." And I was like, "You're not lying," because he's just such a financial Mongol.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he knows, like he pushes all the contracts on the back end, right? So we have more money now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just happy, man. Hey, whatever they're doing, keep doing it, man. We got a bowl.
And the thing that Sammy is talking about is that the players, the contracts are situated and suited so that players actually are rewarded per their play. See, because this is one of the mistakes that Howie made in the past, and many of us who are Eagles fans who've been following the team, we've seen this particular situation take place that I believe Howie learned from. Howie was rewarding guys up front, giving guys boatloads of money, and the money, once the guys got it, caused guys to settle in. Now they switched it again because there's always a formula to winning, folks. The formula now is it's incentive based. You play well, you get paid, and He's breaking people off who are actually performing, i.e. Saquon, i.e. Jalen, i.e. AJ, i.e. Smitty. Look at all the folks that are getting paid. You know, folks are getting paid because folks are producing and therefore earning their pay. So the NFL, folks, is not like the NBA, unfortunately. I don't want to go. Should I go here, Sammy? Should I go here? Should I go here? Should I do it?
Hey, I would do it.
I think I'm going to do it. Here's what I'm going to say, folks. The NBA is different from the NFL. The NBA is a league where you get paid and you don't necessarily have to perform. It's a far cry from the days of Jordan, who played on a $2 million contract for 10 years and played his lights out, winning championships while on a 10-year, $2 million deal. The NBA is different. You got a whole bunch of bums out there that are making a whole bunch of money and not playing or halfway playing. The NFL is an incentive-based business, folks, where the players come in and they don't get paid unless they perform, folks. It's performance-based, which is why the NFL is the #1 sport in America. It's the #1 game right now, almost worldwide. So, folks, Howie is setting a team up to always have us in the position to compete for a championship by way of the players, young, hungry players, and the contracts and the contract incentives. So it's really important to understand that there's a formula to winning. And, folks, we stepped into this back in 2017 when we won our first. We ain't just start. What you got, Sammy?
I mean, to me, Zach Bond is like the perfect example.
Dude's a monster.
I mean, right, they signed him to a league minimum deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he doesn't play well, shoot, he made like $2 million this year. So,
yeah.
I mean, and if he balls out, hey, he gets a contract.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what Howie Roseman has learned. We've brought in a lot of guys that have shown flashes in other places, and he's brought them in on 1-year prove-it deal contracts and says, go out and play.
Talk about it.
Right?
Good point.
Go out and play.
Talk about it.
Go out and show what you can do. I mean, and it's worked, and I'm glad, man. I'm just so glad, man, to be an Eagles fan right now. We are living in the greatest Eagles time, man. The greatest time to be an Eagles fan.
Talk about it
now, man.
Talk about it
right now, man.
Right
Put
now.
Some respect on Jalen Hurts' name, bro.
Don't get me started with QB1. Say it again.
Put some respect on QB1.
Say it again.
Name.
Come on, man. Put some respect on that young man's name.
Freaking Super Bowls in 3 years.
But we ain't gonna get on that yet. We gonna say that for later, because I'm coming at a lot of folk about him, and everybody that know me, y'all know I'm coming, and I'm coming with all the receipts. We ain't gonna do that today though. But here's what we're gonna continue to talk about. We're gonna continue to talk about where the team is, folks. Why y'all crying and worrying? The team is now in a championship ethos. A championship folks. We're no longer the team that almost made it. We're no longer the underdog. Philly, stop thinking like that.
We are the favorites now.
We are the favorites. And here's what you got to do. Just like the intro when you saw me with that stove in my hand, man, y'all better start walking around like y'all champions, man, and expecting championship results, folks. We don't have time to be crying and listen to these radio stations where they crying and they worrying and they going back and forth about this and that, about this player, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. The team has proven itself. They've proven that they have a formula. You don't win 2 championships in almost 10 years and go to 3 in the last 10 years unless you got a formula. Come on, Sammy.
Hey, man, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, everybody's chasing us.
Come
right?
on.
They ain't chasing nobody else but the Eagles.
Come
right?
on.
And we got to come into the season like that.
Come
like,
on.
Like, y'all chasing us.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, Washington. Y'all chasing us.
We call them,
you know what I'm saying? So y'all can talk crazy all off season, but like y'all talking to the champs, right? You got to know who you talking to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know who you bringing that stuff to, bro.
Come on, Sammy. Talk that talk, son. Talk that talk.
I'm just saying, man. Like there's nothing to worry about, right? This team just got off winning the Super Bowl. I'm gonna mess around and be partying at week 8 next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing around and be partying week 10 still.
Come on.
Because like we are on top. We are on top until somebody else raises that banner. Bro.
Say it.
Until somebody else wins the Super Bowl, bro.
Say it.
We're on top.
Say it.
We're the best team in the league until somebody else wins the Super Bowl.
Say it. And here's what we ain't gonna do. We ain't gonna walk around worrying about nothing because champions don't worry. That's the name of this segment. Champions don't worry. You know what champions do? They strut they stuff. And it's not like we settling or have a Super Bowl hangover like I hear many of these guys talking about, well, we're still living in the Super Bowl party. And no, champions party, but champions also have an expectation because champions prepare. That's the difference with this team and the teams of my era. When I was his age, that wasn't the Philadelphia Eagles, folks. The Philadelphia Eagles were a team that we would be happy if they did a little something. This team now is winning chips.
In another stratosphere.
Come on, and that's what it's all about. So here's the thing. What you crying about? Quit your crying. Stop whining. And walk on into this thing, man. And one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day, everybody who knows me knows that Ric Flair, is one of my favorite wrestlers. He used to talk about walking that aisle, folks. He used to talk about riding Space Mountain. He used to talk about strutting your stuff, the fine suits, the shoes, folks, the Lear jets, the stretch limos, daggone the length of 95. Folks, we in that hemisphere right now, folks. This is where we at, and this is what it's about. So strut your stuff. Philadelphia, don't cry. Stop listening to these guys who crying on the radio station, worrying about questions and what's next and what's this. Folks, we know what's next. Repeat. Come on, Sammy.
I'm just saying, man, like, I know, and it's tough because a lot of y'all, right, are scared of disappointment.
Come.
I mean, y'all been fans for so long, bro. Let's take it back to the dream team, man. Like, that team was supposed to win the Super Bowl, bro.
Yes, sir.
That team was supposed to, what was it, 92? Bring it home for Jerome.
Bring it home for Jerome.
We were like supposed to win the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Like Philly fans have gone through a lot of disappointment.
Good point,
right?
son. Point it out.
So naturally, right, when you finally get something, you want to hold on to it, right? Right, and then you're scared of the future, right? Because you're so used to something being supposed to be good, and then just to be let down, just for the team to be a complete bust.
Make it plain.
And I'm telling you, Eagles fans, they're not going for that.
Make it plain.
Not this team.
Make it plain.
Not this team.
Make it plain.
They're not going for that. They've proven it. I mean, 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
Make it
They've
plain.
proven it.
Make it
They're
plain.
not going for that. None
Make
of
it
that. No. Not as long as Jalen Hurts is back there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and you know, again, QB1 is my guy. QB1 is my man. We're gonna talk about him a little later. But folks, as we prepare to wrap this thing up, we thank y'all for being with us. Here's what we want you to do. Eagles fans, if you a champion, go get yourself a stove. Inhale that bad boy with a couple of real good puffs and blow that championship smoke in the face of your own fear. This team is here to stay. This team ain't going nowhere, folks. We ain't flukes and we ain't underdogs no more. We the best. And as we close out, man, remember, champions don't worry. Woo! Woohoo!